Hi, it's Ajibuchi from SuperBooth18 in Berlin. I'm here at Dave Smith Instruments booth looking at the brand new Prophet X synthesizer together with Gerry, who will tell us more about this new amazing synth.
Ajibuchi.
Prophet X, another great Prophet in a long line since 1974 of Prophets. In order to get the name Prophet, you need to have juicy analog sound. Every Prophet has enjoyed that, and this is no exception. So it's a synthesizer, but it has a twist. As you notice here, we have an oscillator section. So if I hit new program, we can play a sawtooth wave and begin to construct our sound very easily using this oscillator. We can turn on another oscillator, etc., and put the filter sounds on it and make it a synth sound. But the difference is we also have two instruments, and by that we mean sampled instruments. So this company here, 8DO, is a sample content company that are known for what's called deep sampling. Deep sampling is like not just a piano recording, not just many samples on the keyboard, not just many layers of velocity switching, but now the mic is very close to the piano. Now the mic is far from the piano. Now the mic is underneath the piano. Now the player has the pedal down when they do the sample. Now the player plays soft. And it's called deep sampling because there's so much data. So there's 150 gigabytes of sound on board here. And that goes from cinematic sound effects, abstract, crazy dystopian landscapes, to English horns and French horns and string sounds and pianos and you name it. That's 150 gigabytes is a lot of sound.
Will I be able to load my own sounds on this as well?
Yeah, not right away. We ship in early June, but by the end of the year, we're going to have a piece of software that takes your recordings, and it's going to take your recordings and change it to the format that the Prophet X likes to see, and you put a little thumb drive in the back in the sample import, and your sounds now are on board, and you can do all the same things you do with these samples.
Is it multi-timbral actually, so I can play different instruments all at once?
Yeah, it's two multi-timbral channels. Okay. Yeah, it's basically everything 8DO has is a beautiful stereophonic image, so we maintain that in the Prophet X. 8 voices of true stereo. That means an analog filter per side, right? So the idea of digital samples through analog filters, that's sort of the mantra. Yep. That's what made this instrument. Now, if you want more voices, you can just press this button here, 16 voice, and immediately go to 16 voice mono. So that's really easy to do. You can also split the keyboard, so if you're playing live, you can have 2 sounds, and you can stack it, so you can have 2 layers on any program. Each of those layers can have their own effects. We have a dual effects bus here, their own arpeggiator, their own sequencer effects. Each layer, just like the Rev 2, has its own autonomy. There's a whole section of ambiences. And then we have basses. Then we have choir, drums, ensemble, effects, ethnic sounds, guitar sounds, keyboard sounds, percussion sounds, piano sounds, string sounds.
Nice.
Just easy to just add things, take them away, sculpt them, shape them. You have lots and lots of sounds. So it's very much a performance machine. Pressure sensitive, velocity sensitive FITAR keypad here, and then all these performance controls. Plus, of course, you can ride the knobs anytime you want. It's very easy to do. You can also choose sounds that are not orchestral or instruments at all, but just effects. So it's really easy. Again, hit basic program, go over here, and this time we're going to go to cinematic effects and choose a keyboard that has a different sound on every key. Each one is a completely different sound effect, right?
Nice.
So you can take the sequencer and record something like, and then you can just start playing. And also you can do this thing where you don't use the sequencer and you just say, let's say you like this sound a lot and you wish it was on the whole keyboard. Just hold it down and then play this key right here. Sample stretch. Now that sound is everywhere. Just enormous. Notice that the organic shape of this sample really gives it that emotion that a cellist or a bass player would use. You know, so you start there and you just, and 8DO calls this soul. This is their version of soul, is the performance in these samples.
Thanks a lot, Gerry. It's a very interesting instrument. Sounds great on first sight. We're excited to learn more about it. When will it be available and what's the price point?
It's first week of June is coming, being shipped everywhere, and it's $4,000 US map. So,
okay, quality has its price, I guess.
It does. You know, if you actually go and try to buy this library of samples for their, you know, that a film composer might do in a contact form or whatever, it would be much more than that. So they're really high quality samples, and then you get Dave's synth take on it. So it's good value.